Fucking get pumped up and shit. Alright. Yo. Six pack of Modelo with the gold cap. Come together like a dope rap. Get slapped like a wine bag. Red, white, dad. We both blue. Smoke that with the soju. Thick cut, I'm a bold dude. Cut back on the coke. Jorgen Von Strangle, chomping at the bit. I'm on my housewife shit. Memorize my whole entire grocery list.
Thank you, Austin, for helping us with the new intro and working with me more and recording, re-recording your soundtrack and all that shit. I got to see him whenever we did the new intro. He did his song different. I don't know if you noticed the last 10 or 15 seconds was different. He redid it all, and it was cool to get to see him do it live. But yeah, he put in even more time, so that was fucking really cool, and I really appreciate that.
He's a good dude.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah, I did forget to post his links for TikTok and Spotify in the description, so I'll have to remember to do that this time. I might even go back and edit the description on the other one, but I mean, that's neither here nor there. I'll just do it when I can.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll get them out to you guys so you can see him, and that way you guys can get over and check him out and see what he's all about. Definite shout out to Austin Shoemaker for helping us out with all this.
Yeah, Mad Big Fingus is his name.
Mad Big Fingers.
Mad Big Fingus, boy.
Oh, that's rough. That's straight gangster.
But yeah, setting today, our childhood skating rink.
Yeah.
We tried to shoot the second episode here, and it got all messed up.
Jumboed.
Yeah, just a bunch of technical difficulties. I'm not going to go into it all, but it sucked. So
yeah,
here we are redoing it. The guy was nice enough to let us back in again and try again. So here we are.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where we're a guy short. That's it. He may or may not be back. He's taking care of his family and stuff, dealing with all that. Everything's good, though. That might just be us three from here on out.
All right, so where did we leave off?
Man short. And then
no, we're not putting that in there.
We're a man short.
God, shit.
Cut immediately.
Yeah, I remember coming here as a kid, dude. It was fun. Black lights are still up. It's all pretty much the same. They took the cushion off the poles that stand the building up. That's a little rough.
Yeah, these pools here, they used to have the red carpet you see on the walls and shit. They used to have that wrapped around the pools, so there was some sort of padding if you had to run into one or to stop, or somebody pushed you into one. We used to push each other into them a lot.
Oh yeah, go home with carpet burn. I'd be like, what happened? Man. Yeah, I don't know. You dropped us off there, you the parent. You seen that cushioned room. You knew what you were doing. You put some rollerblades and let us run into walls.
Remember how they do limbo?
Yeah, they used to. We'd do limbo. That would be cool.
I was never that good at limbo.
I
I got lucky because I was short, but I sucked at being flexible. I'm still not flexible at all. I need to do some fucking yoga.
That's all right. Yoga.
Yogurt.
Yogurt.
I don't like yogurt. I like Go-Gurt.
Go-Gurt's good.
Go-Gurt's really good. But anyway, coming back to the limbo.
Yeah, I sucked at it too, man.
Did you?
I don't know. Yeah, I ain't scored no trophies from it or anything.
Oh, so you were just bullying me.
To an extent. I was letting you know I was over here. I didn't want you to think I was alone.
Yeah, man, I used to get all my money for alcohol here. We all did.
Yeah, it was good times, man. This is that place we were telling you about where we'd begin our Mad Dog parties. We'd come here and just ask people for $1. It was easy. Before you even got inside, there'd be huge lines when we were kids. People came from all over to come here and try to rollerblade. Just turned into hanging out and getting money. But now that I think about that,
getting money. We were slanging at the skate.
If you think about it, the generations that were probably before us, as they go in steps, obviously, we were talking about this last night. Was I giving an older kid $1? Who the fuck bullied me? Who has my
I never
money?
handed out. Maybe we started it.
Nah, dude, I feel like I didn't have money until I started coming here and asking for it. So someone was getting my money.
I don't know. I don't think I ever had anybody ask me for $1. Probably just knew I didn't have one.
Yeah, like I'm a fucking mooches every Friday. He ain't got no money.
Hey man, let me get $1. My fucking parents' car needs air in the tires.
Yeah, it needs air. That's crazy. Where is it? Unimart? Like, what the hell? Walk the whole way?
Yeah, I gotta walk there after I get your $1, you know.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's some good times here.
I wish we could have got a lot of that on film.
What?
I'm pretty sure I remember people trying to like jump tables or.
Oh,
We
I
didn't
sticks
try to
or-
jump tables.
We
did
could.
jump tables.
I don't see you try.
We
You
would
come
jump
in
up. We
here?
would pull the benches away from the wall and line like slide them together, and we'd like jump up on them and ride across the benches and jump off.
Jump up
or we
onto
would
the
jump
wall.
up onto the wall and like do a wall ride.
Yeah, it was cool.
We thought it was cool. Now it would
It
probably
was
look
cool,
stupid.
dude. I
probably
think it's
holes
still
all
cool.
through
Come
it.
say something. Hey.
It reminds me of that TV
Rollerblading?
show with that fucking blonde dude. He's like a grown man, but he's like, "Daddy, look what I can do!" And he jumps up and clicks his feet. That's what I feel like we looked like jumping up on the wall.
No, dude, I was
Look what I can
jumping like 4 feet in the air and 12. That's good. That's a good vertical.
I didn't hang out here too much. A couple times.
I was more of a inline skater, like the wheels all in a straight line. I couldn't do the 4 wheels. Just never could. Never get it figured out. I felt like a weirdo.
I couldn't do the straight line. I walk like a duck, so I like walk on the side of them. I
So you
can't
needed
stay
more
up.
support.
I need the 4 wheels.
You needed a good foundation for them old ass ankles.
I know.
Have you always said inline?
No, actually,
I said rollerblades.
it's rollerblades, but they're actually inline.
Well, I always
Them are
said
roller skates.
Yeah, I always said rollerblades and roller skates.
Yeah,
for, like,
I heard
4-wheel.
inline on TV and was like, yeah, I'm going with that. I'm old enough. Someone might think I came up with it. But no, just call me out on here. That's cool. Fuck it.
I was
heard
just
it on
curious.
TV.
I know I never called them inline when I was younger. I think the first time I heard inline was whenever I watched that fucking, what was that movie all about rollerblades? You know what movie I'm
The
talking about.
girls? With the
The
girls
dude
in
ends
it?
up racing at the end and he wrecks into the hay and shit. What was that called?
Oh, that was just on probably a year ago. It's an old movie.
They bring it back every once in a while. I can't remember what it was
Yeah,
called.
he rides in a vert ramp and stuff. Like there's all different kinds of stuff he has to do. It's like a enduro race, pedal bike, rollerblading, skateboarding. You know what I
No,
mean?
that's
Towards
rocket
the end.
power.
Huh?
That's rocket power.
No.
Rocket.
Rocket power is where they all have different like niches.
Yeah.
Some rollerblades, some fucking skateboard,
What do they have?
some ride pedal bike.
What do they have?
A niche?
Nah, you said ninja.
I said
You
niches.
said ninja. You're like, it's Ninja Turtle, bro.
Don't worry, we can play it back. I'll be able to prove you wrong on this one on camera. I said niches.
Ninja. Yeah, that's what I said
Bitch.
too. Ninja. What? So how was your work week this week, bud? Anthony?
I'm glad it's over.
All right, yeah, bringing positivity to the internet. Yeah. One of them
I'm
weeks.
just ready to be home.
I get that, not wanting to be here doing this. I could see that. You probably should have waited until the camera wasn't on to say that shit, dude.
No
Like,
work.
the audience wants you to be here focused.
It's been a long week.
I got that much.
Just one of those weeks.
That's
Well, I
all right,
mean, he
bud.
showed
We
up at
all
my
have
house.
them. I had a rough one.
He
But
showed up at my house one day. I thought he was going to shoot me or something.
I would have if I showed up at your house.
You don't come to my house. I always have to come to you.
You're just not there
Yeah,
when
you
I
don't
get
come
there.
to my house either.
I was there. I tried to come back down. You didn't like, no one coming to my house. I'm Grandpa Anthony Orts.
Well, you seen what Brock did to Shirley's carpet, and I don't need that done at my house.
We were
We're
going in
gonna
the
go
garage.
bud. This authentic style of living. Everyone's partied on top of garages and stuff. I remember there was a place in Hawthorne, and they had a hole in the back of the building. The doors were locked up front, big, huge sliding barn doors. It was locked right behind the post office, and we
Oh.
kicked these bricks in the back so we could climb into their place. And we went upstairs and like made it ours. We took our BB guns up there. Check flicks, you know what I mean? Back then when you
Some
actually had to
good
flick a
night-
chick over, like.
Had to fold out the old centerfold girls.
Yeah, dude, we had. There
Was it like
couches
a
up there.
80s or a 70s magazine?
It was roughly old.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
old.
that's the same thing that happened to us in Distant. We're like
Yeah, see, everyone's got old
younger
magazines,
2000s with
cabins
a
and stuff.
1970s Playboy mag. thinking we were
This is
like,
the best
yeah,
one."
this is awesome.
Dude, did you hear that shit Hugh Hefner's wife came out saying about him?
I can only imagine.
So apparently, like, the part of the reason she left him and shit was because he told her that he got pleasure from snuff films. Do you know what those are? I didn't know until I looked it up. It's like a legitimate video of like actual homicide, like somebody killing somebody else. Well, apparently she said he was getting pleasure from them. I
Yeah.
just saw this article come out, and apparently she walked into a room the one day and he was like fondling their dog, and she was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he said, "Well, dogs have needs too." And there's all kinds of crazy shit she's. coming
Oh,
out
there's
saying
crazy people from our childhood like that.
I don't know nobody that fucking got sexual pleasure from watching people die.
I don't know, man. No, not dying. That's a different type of breed there, bro. That's like,
Yeah, it's some dark shit.
That's-
That's that rich people shit.
that's that death. That's you got option. You ain't stuck with what's walking down the sidewalk with you. You know what I mean? You got
Dude,
some money.
I can't even like wrap my head around that. Like, how does that even start?
Dude, people are
Well, first you
disgusting.
grab a gun or a knife, whatever of your.
No, you don't kill
preference.
them. You like to watch other people kill.
Oh,
You get sexual
here, come on, I'll go show you.
gratification.
We'll figure
Yeah.
this out.
Follow
if you
me,
like
we'll
it
see
or
if you
not.
like it.
What are you laughing about? You're coming too. Podcast is over. Like we gonna figure this out. Yeah, that's I had a rough week too, man. It happens to the best of us. We're the
Well,
worst.
I'm
of
glad
us.
he told me about Hugh Hefner because
That made your
at
life
least I
better.
ain't as bad as that guy.
Yeah, but that guy's got how many wives? Does he have one wife or a bunch of women?
I don't know. You still beat
she-
off to homicide videos.
she left him.
That doesn't matter if you have 20 blonde virgins. You beat off to homicide. That just throws it all out the window for me.
Yeah, but he has money, so he's just rolling in a new batch of all 12 single girls.
Whatever happened to just normal
People?
stuff to look at? You know what I mean? Now you're getting all weird and you know, like
Yeah, I see. It's a touchy situation. You don't know what you can and can't talk about, but that is probably not one of them.
What?
That is the homicide to get the old ejaculation going. You know what I mean? That's weird, dude.
I mean, we didn't do it.
No, we didn't do it, but to sit here and discuss it as if we could possibly see in ourselves do it is
What do you-
weirder to
What do
me.
you think would have to change in you for you to get sexual pleasure from a snuff film? Now that you know that one is. What one is?
nothing. I don't even like looking at it just to look at it.
You get deep. You were deep in there if you're running across shit
Do you think
like
that shit that's just like from day one it's in the back of their head and it just eventually comes to like comes
To be
into
honest,
play?
I don't know.
Or do you think it just like something snaps one day and they're like, yeah, I like this now?
Something's not connecting? I don't know. I wouldn't know where to begin.
You know what it
That's
reminded me
a
of?
different mentality. That's how they see it. I don't know, man. That's
It made me think of how like the Squid Games was just fucking rich ass people getting bored, and for entertainment they decided to take unlucky people and fucking make them literally like die for money, and that was their entertainment. Like, do you think that much money really brings that kind of boredom, or do you think it's just certain people that are fucked up?
fucked up. Because if you there's, jeez, this
Dude,
place is haunted.
dude,
Like I'm
That
straight
was
up telling
that
you.
was a big one, dude.
Yeah, there ain't no creaking boards when the whole floor is like being walked across. Just a heads up, if you guys are watching this, pay attention to the back of the video here and there and see if you catch something wandering around back there. We'd love to know. Like, yo, you can hear that. It's loud. It's all over the place. It's terrifying.
I'm out of here.
Now sit down, damn it. We got a podcast to shoot. We've been doing it for 4 hours.
Yeah, it's taking a while.
I can't wrap my head around people. Just
I don't think it's all rich people.
No, it's not all the rich people.
Look how much
It's-
money Elon Musk has. That motherfucker. I can't see him doing anything.
You know
wrong.
what's crazy? I came across, it was a documentary about his wife talking about him, and he's not what he appears and stuff and shit.
In a good way or a bad way?
Very, to be honest, I don't know if it's good or bad. I never paid attention to it because I didn't want his name slandered, because that's their personal business between a relationship, you know what I mean? And she's like going live on TV and stuff talking about it.
Well-
Why now? Is it because he's so known? Because if he was John Joe cooking pizzas out back, like, you wouldn't give two shits whether the story was known. You'd be like, he's an asshole of a man. I want nothing to do with him. But now he's famous. You go worldwide to Slander his
Well,
name?
I think people probably wouldn't ask if he wasn't rich, so she wouldn't have much motivation to like talk her shit. But I think if she was like slandering him about shit, she was probably like talking shit because she's jealous of his success. And then people finally started asking about like her thoughts on it. So she was like, "Fuck him."
Oh, it was probably news channels and stuff trying to get interviews and wanting to know. That's crazy. Just, I don't even know how long they were together or anything. I really didn't pay too much mind in it. Just something you said, it jumped my brain.
We were talking about phones and technology and everything. And I always thought, like, when they brought out, like, the cell phone for the first time, how long do you think, like, the American government had control of that before they released it to the public? You think they had any control? Like, they kept it for themselves for a while?
I don't know, because there has been some weird shit. Like, I think it was whenever XXX Tentacion, however the fuck you say it, whenever he died like before the iPhone 11 was released or some shit like that, people were saying. But there was a picture of him with him holding the iPhone 11 that was taken. And he was like holding it. So, but that could have been like photoshopped or anything. But some of that shit is weird.
There's a lot of conspiracies out there. I was just watching Mike Tyson, the one match he's in. There's a video, literally, you can go look it up, of Tyson, a picture of Tyson, and right behind him, there's like an Asian fella with an iPhone. You can literally see it has a flash on, it's white. Like, it was weird. Back then, that shit was not out.
I don't know. I guess the only defense you could really come up with that like they don't have technology before we do is that you only see them with like as new as iPhones as we have.
Newer house phone. Cordless house phone. Cord phone. You know what I mean? How times have came a long way. Like the house phone was attached to, well, I'm sure it wasn't even like that. But attached to the wall, you had this huge string, and then it came cordless, then it came them honking cell phones. You remember them?
Yeah.
Well, I don't remember one of them. I never had one.
Me either.
I've seen them though in person. They're ridiculous.
I don't know if I've ever seen a cell. Oh, I might have seen a cell phone. Like,
dude, when I was working at Verizon, like old bag phones, they were like the first cell phones. Old bag phones were selling for like $5-10 grand. People wanted for like collector's items. Because most people just fucking got rid of them whenever they got new ones, threw them out and shit. So there's only a few left. So if you know anybody that has an old bag phone, go to the pawn shop. Get you
Your
some
local
money
pawn shop.
and invest in us.
Hey, we're just looking for handouts tonight.
I want a percentage. I gave them the idea. I planted the seed.
It's like, you've had this shit for years, man. Like, and then I just blurt something out. So give me some money.
That's right.
yeah, I just think about that stuff all the time. Like, how long the government keeps stuff before we know.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's things out there like medication and certain machines and stuff. They go to FDA, approve it, and make sure it's all worthy to even come out in mass production.
He said medications, and it got me thinking too. When we were in school, you remember in health class they would like teach us about AIDS and HIV, and you get AIDS, HIV, and you're.
Are you going to talk about Magic Johnson?
You're dead. You know. Well, and then all of a sudden, you know.
Magic Johnson's had AIDS since like the 90s.
Yeah, like what? All it is if you have money.
This is what everybody said about Magic Johnson, that he pays like $5,000 a day for a pill. Each day he pays $5,000 for a pill that like keeps it at bay. I don't believe that, but because you can be asymptomatic for AIDS because remember they used to tell you might not know if you have it until like you get a test or whatever. You can be asymptomatic and not have anything like actually affect your body or immune system for like fucking 10 or more years. So he might have just got a test and tested positive, but he's been asymptomatic.
For that long?
If he even really has AIDS, I don't know. This is just
like
something, I mean, it's been said for years.
I don't know.
And then like they'd show us like books of people that died of AIDS and they're like shriveled up and like
all scrawny and shit.
Yeah, and it's just like this guy's like bench pressing 5 of me.
I could see them keeping medicine.
Oh yeah.
I would say so. You come up with, I was talking to my mom about this, you can come up year, say it was less than that for the vaccine for COVID. You've been working years to try to treat cancer, and you came up with a medication that makes them very sick before they get better, like chemo. That's an interesting way to look at it.
There's people that died actually. Oh, just the chemo killing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it weakens your immune system and everything, destroys you.
Yeah, but,
And that's
I mean,
what makes me angry about it is because
see, my
I think
problem
there
is
is a cure, but
for what?
it makes so much money. Cancer it makes so much money. You know,
People
why would they
donating.
not? Yeah, why would they come out with a cure? They'd lose billions.
What if it really is just that hard to cure though?
And it seems like it's more
Like a pandemic.
Yeah,
You know, just like in general, like what if it's just because everything's different. A fucking common cold can be cured in a few days. HIV you can never get rid of, but you can like keep it.
Magic
Fucking
Johnson.
keep yourself from having outbreaks and shit. But like, what if cancer is just one of those things that's like untreatable? What if it genuinely is? Then we look like dicks.
Well, it's
But
not
is
because
it?
they use chemo to get rid of it. Just a very aggressive treatment.
Yeah, I think it depends on what kind of cancer and shit too.
I'm gonna
Oh,
have
yeah,
to read
for
up on
sure,
some
but they can
articles
biopsy
again,
and-
but like, there's been people that's been taking stuff that's cured.
Not you, dude. You said biopsy and it immediately made me think of your brother.
I know it. Every time I hear that word, I think of him. Every time. But go ahead, bud.
Or do you want to hear?
Huh?
We can go off topic. I can tell you real quick. It's hilarious.
I don't care what you do.
Go ahead.
No, I'll have to read some like articles like of people that cured cancer, like other countries and this country by changing what they ate. And there's
Well, I
different
saw-
stuff out there, but
A while ago, that one dude was all over the news. He was like a retired state policeman, I think. But his daughter, she was really young. She was like under 10 years old. She had cancer in her brain. Yeah, she had cancer in her brain, and he took her to like multiple places for chemo and shit like that, and it just kept coming back, kept coming back. Well, they wouldn't treat her anymore, or he wouldn't let them, I can't remember. But he went to this dude that was like off the books and shit. His treatments weren't FDA approved or anything. And he was like in a courtroom talking about it, and he said that that dude did whatever he did, and it like literally cured her. Like the cancer was gone, completely gone, and it was in fucking, what do they call it? Remediation? Remission. And like 2 or 3 months after it was cured, her fucking brain fell apart from the radiation treatments, and she died. She was totally cancer free when she died, but she died because of the chemo. Wow. Yeah, her brain just like
That's
gave
crazy.
out.
How
But,
many
like,
cases
people like
of that happen, they mark down cancer?
How many what?
Times does chemo kill people and they just mark cancer kills people? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want them, they're not going to be like, oh shit, another one.
Probably just as many times as car accidents killed people when they said it was COVID.
Tricky fuckers.
Who knows though?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just wonder, man. That's why I hate being as low on the totem pole as we are, because then we
Yeah,
have
'cause there's
no
always
fucking
questions.
clue. We only hear what the people
they want us to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only hear what the higher up people fucking tell us.
Yeah, and I don't know much, so you guys really don't know anything then.
I'm above you.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so.
I am. I'm taller than you now because you shrank.
That's from always being weighed down from you guys.
Drying
Yeah,
up
we'll
like
get
a
it.
raisin, boy.
He's a razor boy.
Huh?
Easy now. Easy.
What are you doing? You trying to keep me in
Not
bed?
in.
I'll come across these tables.
Come across both of them then.
No,
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do
I
it.
don't want to.
I knew it.
It does make me curious though, like with technology and all the shit they've done in the past couple of years, like how haven't they figured out a way to stop that shit yet?
I don't know, man.
don't think
It's
they
a
want
If they
question
genuinely
everyone has.
haven't,
I don't
how
think they
haven't
want to, because think about all the people that die of
population
cancer.
control.
Because without cancer,
Holy fuck, are we going to get into some conspiracy theories?
I don't know. I don't really know any, but I'm making them up as we go.
I enjoy reading into them.
I read into some of them, but my wife makes fun of me then, so my self-esteem is really low, and she's like, "You're an idiot." I'm like, "What? Oh, you're crazy."
I enjoy reading
Quit being
conspiracies.
rude.
Huh?
I was talking to your wife.
Oh, yeah. Oof.
You were what?
I enjoy reading conspiracies and then getting overly angry and just running with it.
Just taking her.
Dude,
the world's flat, right?
They can be interesting.
Yeah, sometimes they are.
I'm trying to think of like the last one I really looked into. Did you ever see that shit about like if the world really ended in 2012?
And it's a glitch, like this outer.
It's just
body
like a whole different timeline.
Yeah, like
I was
there
reading
was
a thing-
videos of stuff like places that have changed from what you're saying, like taking before 2012 and then after, and it's completely different with no one ever knowing. These monuments disappeared, the colors changed and stuff.
What's that shit? Like people are doing it on TikTok too. Like the Mandela effect is what they call it.
I'm not sure.
That's what it's called, the Mandela effect. So it's like where some people remember things one way and others remember it another. Like the way Febreze is spelled and Skechers and like whether there's a T in Skechers or not. Like all kinds of weird shit. But I was reading this one. It was like a giant slideshow of like the fucking like where the Statue of Liberty, where the Statue of Liberty is and shit. Dude, it's fucking nuts.
It's off. None of it's the same. It's weird. It
I
makes you
either
wonder,
think
but
it's-
is it cropped? If videos have came so far with people manipulating the pixels and stuff, it's impossible to determine what's what.
See, but then it like fucking teases your brain because it's like, well, did it really used to be spelled
Yeah.
like that, or are they just throwing in a second picture to confuse me, to make me think about it? And now my mind's
They
just
want
playing
everyone to be
tricks on me.
crazy, man.
I don't know. I remember where I was when the day it was supposed to end, and then I was like,
When was
worried
it?
about
12/12/12 is whenever it was supposed to happen, according to the Aztec calendar.
Yeah, something like that.
But the day after that, it didn't feel any different. It feels different now that I think back in that time.
That's age.
Yeah.
Did you get nervous during that time that it might end?
I don't believe so.
I never thought it would. I never
I-
thought it was
I-
going to.
You know what?
What we doing?
Probably just fucking riding pedal bike. It was 2012.
Yeah, good memory, Brock.
He was graduating then.
I would have been. Did you graduate in 12?
Yeah, that's a good memory,
Wow.
Brock. Like,
Dinosaur. No, we were done riding. We already had our last day outside together by the time you. By the time
yeah,
that
we
happened.
missed everyone.
No, but I was telling my wife that I was 18 and I almost drowned at the rope swing.
That day.
Huh?
That day, or
No,
just
I
like-
just told her this week that I always wondered if I died that day, and this is just me playing out my life how I think it would.
alternate reality kind of thing.
Little trippy, you deep inside the brain, man. You gonna bust open that third eye. You keep getting any deeper, you gonna be levitating.
I think life in general is just so fucking crazy to think
Crazy.
about that it
Yep.
even exists. That like you just question everything naturally.
Yeah, if you can sit back and actually analyze it and get yourself out of your body into that other experience to really let loose and think about shit, you can trip yourself out.
Oh, that's what I do every day.
That's
We-
good. That's good. Keep yourself on your toes, man.
we gotta do peyote.
Peyote.
Peyote, find our spirit animal. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
We might
Travel.
unlock the secret to the
Maybe
universe.
that's what will happen. Maybe next time we'll be in the middle of the woods recording this. Just
I don't want that key.
you don't want that key.
No.
Would you take it?
I get paranoid when I smoke weed. I can't imagine like anything else.
I think it's the mind state you go into as you're smoking. Same with any drug. Well, I guess weed's not a drug anymore. I have such a hard time with that. Is it a flower? Is it weed? Is it marijuana? Like, what is it? Like, do
I
I,
mean, I
give
guess it
myself
just-
away when I call it weed and someone's like, yo, you got any flower? And I'm like, weed? They're like, busted. You ain't got no card. You know what we talking about.
Busted.
Do you think nature can produce drugs?
Yeah.
Well, then weed is a drug. If you don't think nature
Well, it depends
itself
on-
can produce a drug,
Well,
Then it's
there's
not a drug.
bullfrogs you can
Yeah,
lick.
lick.
And
I was just gonna say that. How did we have that
This'll
same
genic.
thought?
We've
I was
been
gonna say,
toads,
yeah,
bro.
you can
I
lick a
have heard
toad.
about
and get
it's
all-
not bullfrogs.
And the type of frog, you're completely aware of what we mean.
I did. I was
There's-
just really curious right now about what it would look like for somebody to be out there fucking catching bullfrogs in the cuts one night when we were walking out.
No,
shooting
I don't
frogs
think
or
they're
something.
actual bullfrogs. Don't go out to your local mud hole and picking up bullfrogs trying to catch a trip.
Well,
Like,
a bunch of kids fucking eating Tide Pods and licking bullfrogs.
oh my.
I don't know. I
That's
can't
a
say
night.
that Mother Nature makes that because I don't think Mother Nature was like, here, lick this toad.
No,
You know
it's
what
a
I mean?
defense mechanism.
Yeah.
But who was like,
Lick this
here,
toad.
smoke this tree.
I think what's more weird is
Snort this plant.
who's
like
the
cocaine.
first person to figure out you could drink cow's milk? Like, he had to be one weird.
He was into
Like-
weird shit, man.
Yeah,
you
like-
know what I mean? If there was.
What's that taste like? Get out of the way, Cap. I want to try it.
Yeah,
it
you
taste
drink it, I drink it.
And then he got a
What if-
million other
Well,
people
no,
to just.
it wouldn't be trying. I'm curious who tried the first
I got a
milk,
question.
but someone tried the first titty first. You know what I mean? Breast milk?
Oh yeah. Like, you mean like when she like gives birth and then they're like,
Yeah.
oh, there's milk in it.
Kids can drink ours. Can we drink someone else's? Cows have big udders. They must produce a lot of milk. Let's jack it all. Yeah, and then when we're done, we'll cut them up into steaks. I'm like, dinner.
That had to be
Dude, it had to be a
goofy
weird
bastard.
time, man.
Yeah, just down on his hands and knees. Who was the first one to find the technique to pull on an udder? Like, grab the base, right against the,
well,
and
hold on
squeeze
now.
and pull down or some
what
shit.
What if the dude wasn't weird? What if a cow had a calf, and he was trying to help the calf eat, so he pulled the udder to its mouth, and
Accidentally
then milk
sprayed it in
squirted
his
out,
mouth.
and he was like,
No, that guy
Wait
had
a
to be
minute.
weird, dude. I don't care what you say. He put his mouth on that cow's tit.
That's what I'm going with too. I think he was
You're
straight.
telling me
sucking
weird.
"You're telling me bestiality's been around since the beginning of time." He's
dick. Probably before cops. Like, I don't know. It's kind of.
He probably had some creepy ass name, shaggy hair, an untamed beard, and
what name would you give him if you had to give him a name?
A name, God, we're gonna offend
Ernie.
everyone. That Bernies, all Bernies are mad now.
No, he said. Did you say Bernie or Ernie?
Ernie.
Ernie.
That sounds
Ernie?
fitting.
And then he got like a million other people just to.
Brock, on the way over, dude, I drove past Ernie's. He's on the fucking cow's tit again, down on his freaking hands and knees, sucking on it. Yeah.
Who do you think was crazy? The first guy to try it, or the first person to believe him?
They both was nuts.
You know he wasn't alone.
Yeah, they were probably
He's
cousins
like, don't
or
let
something.
this cow kick me in the back of the head when I get down under it. Like, I got his legs, bud. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And like, what about like the first people that like experienced sex? Like, I got this
That's
thing.
a different realm, bro.
I got
You
this
going from
thing,
sucking
you-
titties to.
I got this thing, you got that thing. Now, what if I put it in here? And then, like, could you imagine being a woman, you know, after, and then, like, you never gave birth before? You don't know what it is, and now you got something moving around in your stomach, and then 9 months later, something's, like, painful.
Well, I thought the first woman to ever be pregnant didn't have sex.
Where did you learn that from?
This really old book.
Oh shit. Nah, I guess the Virgin Mary came after other people, so yeah, people.
Yeah,
would've
way
been sex.
after.
Oh,
I
see
didn't
what you
read
mean.
that shit.
That's terrible.
Oh, what's
Fuck,
wrong?
don't crucify me, dude. I'll go home and read the Bible. All right, fuck.
Yeah, I have like all this free time.
I'm gonna have to turn into a Christian crusader on you.
I feel like the first person to experience sex though would have been like that would be like the ultimate time to experience sex.
That was like the ultimate sin, probably.
Well, yeah.
Well,
But I just
yeah.
mean in general, like imagine, like whenever we were growing up, we knew about sex, so we like constantly had it in our heads what we thought it might feel like. That dude had no fucking idea and had no reason to think about it. So like for him, he would have never even imagined it first. So like that was just
Well, that's what's weird. Like, why did he try it? You know what I mean? Like, why was he just like, yeah?
They were
I-
scared. He gave
I'm in a cave.
her
It's
a hug.
raining
She
out.
was crying, and he was like, "Wow, shit, that's warm." It's like, she's like, "What is that? What is that crawling on me?"
what if they just fell
It's a
into
snake.
each other?
Shit, that's little snake.
What if they just fell into each other? Or he fell into her?
Huh?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure like the Bible, like I don't know, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure like God like explained this to Adam and Eve, so they kind of knew, like that's how you repopulate the earth. But I don't know. It's just weird to think about.
I feel like primal instincts in general are fucking weird.
Definitely.
Dude, I kind of wish it was like that though.
Everybody just going off instinct?
Like I wish
It'd be
it
a
was just
filthy world.
It
no,
would be
no,
disgusting.
no, not like that. But like, I mean, where the only thing in the world that mattered was your family, your like tribe, your group.
What's crazy is you're the only one that can determine that. That is up to you if you want the only thing to be important to you is your family or the whole outside world, man. That's one of them things you got to figure out whether you're living for your family or you're living for everybody.
Well, I mean, like instead of like working, you know, your life away, you know, like how the
Some of
Indians
it-
did, you know.
Some of it conflicts. Like if you want your family to be the only thing you care about, you kind of still have to care about like outside entities. Because you gotta obey laws and shit.
Well, you know what I mean. Like you
Yeah,
just got this
well,
tribe, and
I
you
just
just
mean,
have
like,
to
you
worry
can't-
about each
I
other,
think-
and then you go out, pick some herbs, kill some deer.
Yeah, back then. But I'm saying like in this day and age, I don't think it's possible to only care about your family.
Why isn't it?
Because you're not gonna be able to care for your family if you don't
There's
care about the
people
law.
like
and
the
shit.
last frontier, dude.
I'm talking about like where we are, like in our situation. Like you
Yeah.
have to care about the world around you a little bit because you have to obey laws and fucking shit like that. Or
That's
you won't
not
be
caring.
home.
That's being forced to. I already know the repercussions for something if I do wrong. They're keeping me in line. I wasn't chosen to stay in line.
You're not forced to. You have the option. It's just-
Repercussion.
yes.
That's what I'm saying. Like if I do something wrong, like kicking your ass, they gonna put me away because I ain't stopping. You need it. That's right.
Where's some loose cannons up here?
Loose
These
canyon.
are crazy cannons under here, man. Like,
Fuck.
oh fuck. I don't even know what the back of your head looks like anymore.
Pretty normal.
I ain't seen it.
There's a scar. You wouldn't see it if I took my head down, or if I took my hood down.
I'm always-
There's one
That's
scar
what you got.
back there.
I don't know. It's just
Can you make something out of this? Can you piece this all together for success?
Fuck around and find out.
Cause like we
just jumping
keep
all over the place
coming up
again.
and then like flown way out.
I thought we were just going with it.
We just jump around too much. We can never finish a subject that we get on. It sucks. Like we get halfway through talking about something and then we're on to something else. We never like satisfy the conversation.
Yeah, it's just like our women's at home.
No, it's fucking not on your line, dude. But it's not gonna be me.
Can I unplug this and it won't fuck that up
No.
until I take
Why?
it? Will it fuck it up?
Yeah.
No, it's a pain in the ass. You
Which
end
way are you
up
trying
not
to
being
twist
able to
it?
spin this.
That's all right.
Take that little piece out like I did when you were laughing, and then try it like that while I laugh.
Did you guys see about the fucking Epstein shit? You didn't? There was just an article that I read. There was some French girl, like a French model or a French photographer, some shit like that. She was in jail, and she was accused of helping him sex traffic. She was found dead in her cell, and the cameras were not working.
Oh, when you know. The camera's never working. Ever.
How do you, like, if you're going to do it once, and, like, all this crazy shit people are just supposed to believe happened coincidentally,
Yeah.
I feel like you don't do that twice.
No.
They just
Because
don't care anymore.
now you just don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
I would have released her on bail or some shit and then staged a fucking car accident or something. Something to make it look a little more believable. But when you have two people that are like accused of the same thing or accused of like fucking coinciding in a crime and they both are found dead in their cell and the cameras are cut off.
I just think
Weird
that
coincidence.
thing is just-
That's what I think it is. Just
You think?
power must have went out. The appliances were off. The appliances were off. It's all right, man.
Well, the reason I talked about it is because I was going to ask you guys: do you think that it is like just a crazy fucking coincidence that makes them look bad, or do you think our government legit fucking just takes people out?
Well, look at Bob Saget. He was on the list to go into Epstein's Island.
Some weird shit has been happening with his autopsy. I haven't read about it yet, but I keep seeing a bunch of like clickbaits about his autopsy being fucking weird. There's something being super off with it. Do you know who Bob Saget was?
Yeah.
The guy from Friends.
Yeah, I didn't know he passed.
Yeah, that was...
Friends. Fuller House.
Or Fuller House, yeah, whoops.
Full
Oh, boy.
Full House, not Fuller.
House was
Fuller House.
Fuller
The
House
daughters
was
are
the
pregnant.
second
Spin-off.
Yeah, but some shit's been going on with his autopsy, but I didn't read about it to know, like, what it is that's off about it. But do you think our government kills people?
I think our
for
government
sure.
is very shitty.
It's like a mob, dude.
That's what it
It's
seems
just another gang.
We're next.
Yeah, we shouldn't have
You
talked,
did it.
Shouldn't have talked this shit.
Maybe next time.
I don't know.
It's hard to believe that they would. Like, it is fucked up to
No, it
think
ain't.
about.
Look what they did to the Indians, dude.
What?
That's what I don't get.
Like, whenever they first, whenever
just
Christopher
come-
Columbus and shit first came over, you mean?
Dude, even in like the 1900s, they were like imprisoning Indians and kicking them out of like territory and holding them captive. And
Yeah, but you eat on Thanksgiving, you celebrate them.
Y'all
well, I ain't doing it no more. That was the last Thanksgiving.
That was the last one.
My Indian blood in me is just boiling now. All you white
Do you have
people.
Indian in you?
Yeah.
My mom's mom was like fucking 90% Indian.
Hmm.
I don't remember which tribe, but yeah.
It wasn't that close in my generation.
No. It wasn't mine, man, because I always got pissed that I got like pale skin. Like my mom and her sisters and shit are all dark complected and I'm fucking pasty as shit. I got my fucking skin tone from the Irish side of me. Yeah, Dad.
Yeah, they had
That
like
guy,
their-
yeah.
Little Irish bastard.
He keeps coming up.
We didn't bring anything good, dude, to this country.
No.
Rats,
Infestation, rats, diseases.
diseases that the Indians couldn't, like, never had.
Where do you think you'd be right now if that never happened?
England, where do we belong? Give the land back. Now we're on stolen property and we have to pay taxes for it. Like, you stole it.
No.
Now why am I having to pay?
That's true. I get it. That's you pay for it once, then you pay for it forever. Like you pay your house off, then they're like, "Oh, sorry, the property tax is under the house. Shit, forgot about that."
Now that you say it, like, oh, it's happened. This has been happening since Bible times.
Still happens.
Because, like, you got to think about it. Like, God promised when they took them out of slavery in Rome that he promised, like, the promised land. He'd
Yeah.
deliver them. And, like, told them that he would defeat them, people that lived on that land, so it's theirs. So that happened before Jesus.
Wait, Jesus was taking them to the promised land.
No, it was
Quit saying
Moses.
that.
Moses took them there.
Gotcha. I'm picking up what you put
Well,
down.
Moses got to see the promised land from a distance. Jacob took him into it.
Okay.
Where the fuck did Moses go?
He died. Because something happened. I don't want to mess it up. I want to say the Israelites, but it could be wrong. They were like... God saved them out of slavery, and the Israelites thought that they were just going out and God was just letting them to die. Like, because they had no food. They were slaves. They didn't, like, pack a bag, and you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So they just thought that they went out there and were just going to die, and they actually told Moses that they wanted to go back. So they were, like, more willing to go back to slavery than just to keep pressing forward to get to their land.
Show faith in something you can't see.
Yep. And then from their disbelief, it kind of made God angry, and he promised that that generation and the generation after them wouldn't see the promised land. I want to say that's right. And but Moses was able to see it from a mountain where he died, he could look over and see it. But Jacob led them generations after into it. So yeah, it's been happening for.
Is it hard for you to believe in that shit, or you just believe it? Like, or does it just make sense to you?
It makes sense to me, like, because there's more to it. I'm just summing it up. You know what I mean? Like, there's details, but I don't know. Like we talked about before. Like, there's just some things I can't explain. Like, that I can't. Like, I hear. Or,
Well, you said they found Noah's Ark, right?
yeah.
What they
the right
believed,
dimension.
the same description and stuff. It was like propped up on a hill, and it had like the same like
Dimensions.
wooden outline and stuff. They took a 3D print of it and like showed the depth
Were
of the
the-
bit from the beginning to the end, how long it would be, and like where it landed, and it's around.
I think
the
it was
same
Were
in
the
Turkey.
dimensions in the story,
Yeah, God gave Noah all the information he needed to know how to build an ark.
So how do you know that like somebody didn't just read the Bible like thousands of years ago and then just fucking make it and like
And was like, okay, for the next 1,000 years, I'm gonna make sure this
build
book
it.
goes right.
Yeah, but do you know how advanced the ark was for just some Joe Schmo to just
For, like, that time?
I'm just gonna put this here and
honestly, I
make it
mean,
look
I haven't read
believable."
enough about it. I'm just curious.
That would be a lot of work just to throw it out there.
I've said it before. I think it takes more faith to believe in nothing than to believe in God. Like, I think you'd have to have a lot.
Yeah, mentally, your body's like, your mind's like, yeah, I have to believe. Or what do I believe?
Yeah,
in?
naturally
And
you want
society's
answers.
like, believe or don't. Get out. Like, you have one choice. And then the other side's like, why do you believe the nonsense that they're feeding you? Like, it's a messed
I
up
don't know,
world.
man. It's just hard to believe with like how long people were alive and shit in the Bible. Like, it just.
Yeah, back then there wasn't processed food, all kinds of
Yeah, well, they
pollution
have-
and shit. They were eating, like he said, harvesting stuff literally right off the land.
Well, they still have like all around the world. They're called blue zones where there's no technology or anything. That people just live off the land, and the average lifespans are like over 100 years old. But it doesn't get up to like 500 or 600 years
900.
old.
I
But
think Abraham was like 900.
See, that's what I mean. Like, is that even?
And see, this is what gets me too about the whole thing is like there's a story that you like that
I loved it. Phone home.
this God told Abraham to take his oldest son on top of the mountain and drive a stake through his heart. And Abraham took his son up there.
He
laid him
didn't
on a
end up
rock.
doing it, did he?
Mm-mm. He went to shove the stake through his heart, and an angel appeared and told him not to do it. It was just God's test. But you got to think, like, in today's age, you know, now.
What
if
is
you've
our
seen some
test?
lady take their kid up on top of a mountain and was like, God told me to put a stake in his
Put a
heart.
stake in his
All
heart.
right, straight
And
jacket.
you're like, whoa.
Let's go.
Call the cops.
Put the brackets on her, boys.
Yeah, she's done. Hog tie her up.
Yeah, that was just like that.
Why would that
the
be
Old
his way to-
Testament doesn't. It's just the Old Testament stuff is just everything was different because like it was like more brutal and it was an eye for an eye then and
So this is what I've wondered.
That's a good jump into the next category on the generations of children coming out of high school now and like the way that cell phones and everything have taken over. How we were discussing that at the beginning, the way that children are coming up into generation understand, like how I said, my son wanted a camera to live stream him playing games, and I was like, no. And then the next thing I know, I'm doing a podcast with my buddies. Like, do I get it for him? Like, times are changing. This is the new time.
I think most parents are naturally hypocrites, though, because obviously you don't want your kids to do
Yeah,
some
the
shit you
safety.
do. And I mean, you could always just tell them, like, listen, I waited until I was 29 years old to do a podcast.
Yeah, before I could sit around and talk to my friends and record it. It's crazy though. It's just hard to fathom.
like I'm like afraid to see what the world's like when we're like 70.
That's what I'm talking
Oh,
about.
dude,
man.
you're going
Dude, it's
to
gonna
wish
be
for the
so-
simplicity of an iPhone 13 by the time you're 70.
should be programmed into your big toe. You're sitting down, you want to call someone, you double tap twice. Hey, Mom, what's up? She's on the other side talking to you because
I'm just
I could see
afraid.
it being
physics
like
law
Ready
don't
Player
matter.
One.
I'm just afraid they're gonna like make stuff that like you can read minds or something. Like you won't even really have to talk. You can just know what they're thinking, and like that, I wouldn't like that.
That might cross some kind of boundary on the
I wouldn't
privacy
They
like
wouldn't
of
that.
fucking
human
care if they
being.
could invent it.
Yeah,
Then we'll just all go back to putting aluminum hats on our heads, man. Like stop the brainwaves from getting out.
that thing that just like creeps me out, dude.
See, I appreciate technology because we're able to do this, but there's a
It's
lot
scary.
of negative that comes with it, dude. Because like before, you could like be in school or something and like fuck up, say a word wrong, or fall or down or some shit like that. Now, dude, with the internet and people like
Yeah, dude,
constantly
you-
recording
like-
everything, that shit will haunt you for the rest of your fucking life.
Yeah, you mess it. You can become a meme within seconds of making
Yeah.
a weird face. Like it's unreal. Like it don't matter. And that's what I mean. Like bullying nowadays is completely different than back then. Say me and you were bullying him. You would get a couple of your friends, try to fight us. Someone's gonna win. That'll be
We
the end
win.
of it. You'll get heart. We'll get heart because we just stood there and fought it out, and that's the end of it. Well, now it's like fuck you. All right, wait until I get home, dude. You getting blown up on Facebook. No
Yeah.
one's gonna like you anymore. And like it's horrible. Like if you guys are being bullied, reach out. Get a hold of someone. Talk to someone you don't even think is your friend. Someone's going through the same stuff. Never
Well, I
think
think-
you're alone.
I think the problem is though that like sometimes like even whenever kids are bullying each other and shit like
Yeah.
that, and the kids do reach out, like people don't take it seriously.
Yeah,
at all.
because if a teenager in society now, a young man, comes and says, I'm getting bullied, he's looked at like, push it off, man. Get back out there. Keep going at it. Keep your chin up. Well, then
Well,
the
no-
next time he gets punched, comes home with a black eye, and it's like, it's all right, bud. I know it's hard. Fight back. But then he fights back, and then he's being punished for standing up to himself because he struck first when the bully got to him. Like there's coincidence of that happening constantly.
Well, that and like I've seen firsthand like people get bullied in a classroom or something like that, and the fucking teacher either doesn't let it go or they favorite the fucking little spoiled bitch that's doing
saying it.
So
yeah.
they just like follow it. They just like follow suit with the fucking kids. They're just as bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous, man.
I remember getting in a fight one time in school, and it was nothing crazy. It was a push, a punch, and that was it, and we're both grabbed up. But I remember getting out of the detention's office, and I was walking down the hall, and there was two teachers talking. They're like, "Did you hear about him fighting?" And the one says, "I wish I could have seen that." And I knew who they were talking about. And all I thought was like, what kind of teacher would want to see students fight? Like, keep that shit outside. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't speak like that inside the school. Because what are you showing me? Like, okay.
Yeah.
She's an older woman. She thought that was pretty cool. Like,
I think it's. I don't know. I don't think it's okay to say, like you said, like I don't think it's okay to say shit like that inside the school.
everyone has their
But
own
like
beliefs
obviously,
and
if
sees
she were to go
different.
home and
She
be
might
like,
be like badass into UFC and dig that shit.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah, I want to see some blood.
Dude, you said about detention. I have to bring this up because it's not really bullying. He just wouldn't shut up. Me and you and I think Ryan were in ISS the one day, and this other Zach kid that grew up around here, he wouldn't like get off my back, right? So you know the dividers that was like in between us. Well, I was in the front desk. I think Zach was sitting behind me, and then the other Zach was sitting to my right. Well, that divider was between us, and he started like running out the gums about something. I was like, "You better shut up," and he just kept it up. So I like kicked because it has them legs like this. If you turn it sideways, the whole divider
Yeah.
Mm.
will fall over. So I kicked it flat, and I was holding on to it. And I'm like, "I'm telling you, last time, you better shut up." And we had Mrs.
Yeah.
The real old lady. He started saying something. I pushed this divider on it, ran up it, and started jumping on top of it with him under it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh.
See, I miss when you could do shit like that and just
Yeah,
fucking,
you
like,
just sat in the
move
same
on.
room you were in for 2 more days.
Yeah.
Like,
And we didn't have like
ass
cameras
smacking.
everywhere.
Could you imagine if that came back around? How many parents would keep their kids out of school from a ass smack on a butt with a paddle?
Would you keep
Because
your kids out of school if there was a
hell
paddle?
no,
Hell
dude.
no.
They get their ass smacked at home.
Yeah.
Like if I know they're doing wrong, dude. We only have, give or take, some 18 years to get our children ready for the world. Like,
Yeah.
if we drop the ball at the beginning, we can't pick it back up because then they start thinking for themselves and their mentality and their own personality comes out and they come defiant. And they're like, dude, I'm not listening to you tell me that kind of shit because I know my own way.
Well, I think the
You
only
know what I
problem,
mean? Like, they build their own path
What-
before the discipline starts.
like if they did still have paddles and shit in schools, and like, say it was like it was when we were in there, where like if your last name wasn't right or whatever, like it was fucking different.
Oh, yeah, you were
yeah.
judged on the last name.
So
Oh,
what
definitely.
if so
Big
what
time.
if your kid gets judged for your last name and the fucking teachers are just being excessive and fucking
Hey, it'd have to
And
be an
they're getting, like,
extensive amount of
singled out.
proof because I went through school thinking the teachers were out to get me until this one teacher made perfect sense. I was like, damn, I'm a little brat. She's like, yep, Zach, I started school 20 years ago, so I knew I would have you and I could harass you. You got me. You win. You're not out to get me. Like, I got you now. They're not waiting for my son to come to school to be mean to him because of my last name.
Well, yeah, but what if like I don't know. I would have a problem with it only because you're not
would-
there to see if it's excessive or not, and there's fucking.
I trust my
teachers that
son's
are dirty.
words. I've taken him out of daycares because of ignorant people not understanding him. Like he's a very intelligent little boy. He understands right from wrong. And when he was explaining like the situation that happened, she said, "I don't care. Sit down." He's like, "It's not like," he was explaining. He didn't meet a block fell and hit this girl in the head when he was putting something back. It
Yeah.
just knocked the block over. She's like, "You threw it." He's like, "No, I just dropped it off top." Like he was bawling. Yeah, I got my son out of there. That was the last. He's like, "My dad said if you talk to me like this is the last time." She's like, "I don't care." Well, sure as shit, that was the last time we had phone calls. Are they coming back? Like, no. The one teacher at the daycare taught my son how to spell poop. That was the first word my son learned how to spell from a teacher down there.
All the words, and you're like teaching these kids how to spell poop.
That's what I thought. What kind of education do you have that you feel that is capable of, to justify to a, what would he have been,
man, dude.
5-year-old? He was like 5.
I don't know. I would be nervous about like my kid just thinking what the like them getting paddled and shit was okay for whatever just because it was allowed. So like, what if they don't understand that like they're being singled out, but they are? I
They'll
don't know,
grow
man.
into realizing what's happening. They're going to be like, dude,
Yeah, but then
me
they've
and
already-
John both threw eggs. Why am I getting punched in the eye?
But by the time they grow into it, they've already been fucking traumatized by teachers like singling them out.
Or the
I
world
doubt it.
won't-
You doubt it.
Or the
That,
world
like,
will stop being how it is.
hey,
What do you mean?
Where
I
all
think the
these
world
younger
could do with
kids
more
think that
ass.
They can't be touched.
I think the world could do with more ass smacks. I just
Dude.
think it should come from your parents.
I remember when we were younger, and like I'd run my mouth to like people that was over 18 when I was real young, and it never crossed my mind like, oh, you can't do anything to me. I would just run. Now
Yeah.
these kids are like, oh, what are you gonna do? I'll have you arrested.
Yeah, I'll
And-
call the cops.
Yeah, it's like
mm-hmm.
There was this kid we used to go. Well, anytime he would stand and throw rocks at us and shit, and say, "If you step foot in my yard, I'll call the cops.
Oh,
you
hell
step foot
yeah.
in my
He
yard, I'll
still
call
got
the
beat
cops." Yeah, he did still get beat up, but I remember the fucking one cop or whatever. He got called like so many times to his fucking kid's house because we would step into his yard. Well, then he came up the one time and this kid's mom was like, "They're fucking coming into my yard, blah blah blah," and he's like, "Listen, I'm not even here for them. If you fucking call me again about these fucking kids walking past here, I'm gonna fucking arrest you." And I was
Yeah,
like, "Fuck
it,
yeah,
it got
dude."
bad. It was like harassment
Yeah.
every day until we had this chick beat him up, kicked him rain
Yeah,
and nuts.
chick.
We had a girl beat him up 'cause we
couldn't-
were afraid to get in
We were
trouble.
tired of getting the cops called on us. So he would literally throw rocks at us, call us names and stuff. And we're older kids, so obviously our callus is a little stronger. Well, eventually you can take so much from a little punk that keeps calling the cops. Like, we're of age to kick the piss out of him. Like, we can't do it. So this girl come, we're like, you should beat him up. She's like, yes, I will. She walked right up to him, and he like, they locked, They locked fingers. Do you remember it? They
Yeah.
both locked fingers, and she was like, boom. That was it. He was done. We all ran.
Did he call the cops?
Well, yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
Nothing came out of it.
No, I didn't do it. I didn't know who did it. It's
Those
crazy,
were the
man.
days, man.
Nowadays, whew,
I think people always say like violence isn't the answer, but if somebody's fucking with me and I smack them in the fucking mouth,
They quit.
most of the time they stop. Yeah.
a lot of people say violence isn't the answer. That's it. How can you justifiably say that when we have millions of people incarcerated? You know what I mean? We were talking about this the other night.
Why is there war?
Yeah,
why
that's
is
what I
there
was just gonna
war?
say.
Why-
It's not
there's
okay for
all
me to
kinds.
fucking fist fight it out with somebody in the streets,
See, and
but we
that's
can
what-
send people with guns to other countries.
That's what me and my wife like argue about all the time because like there are people in my family that I love, but my family was shit, and it was pretty much a dog eat dog world. for
Yeah.
me growing up. So I used to be like real emotional kind of, and like they'd like call me like a crybaby and everything, and like I was like put in situations where like other people were getting hurt, so I needed to learn to be violent.
Yeah.
So then, like, that's what me and my wife, like, argue about because there's, like, stuff that happens that I want to be violent.
I don't give a fuck
She
what
is
this
more
world
of
comes
a
to.
Give it to God and let it go. And I grew up on God forgives, I don't.
Yeah, dude, I don't care what the fucking world comes to. I will always teach my daughter that if somebody fucking hits you, you smack the shit out of them.
I've always taught my son to be a leader, not a follower, as his first mission in life. Be
Yeah,
a
but
leader,
I
not
mean,
a
I'm
follower.
definitely going to teach my daughter if somebody hits you, you hit them back. You don't just fucking
Yeah, I
walk away.
completely
They
understand
need to
that,
learn a
but
fucking valuable lesson about why they shouldn't hit certain people. Stick with the people you can beat up if you want to fight.
leadership, man. Have people do your fighting.
Hey, you see her? She flicked my ear earlier. Go get that bitch.
All right, guys. Well, that's the third round of the Real Middle Podcast, guys. Appreciate you coming with us to the old skating ring where we grew up and did our thing where we were little punks up to no good. When I'm sure someone was sitting around talking about us like we are.
Dude, before we go, I've been in here a few times. You guys have been in here a lot more than me. But would you ever thought, and how long ago was this? We'd hang out more than 10 years ago. Would you ever thought when you came in, like, we're going to be sitting here, no one in here, in front of a camera, with mics, just...
No,
that's what's weird.
no.
To, like,
It's
sit
crazy.
back and, like, think.
That's
like,
why I was explaining outside when we're bringing in the gear. Like, this is an opportunity. Either you can just run with it and hope it works. If it doesn't, you still hung out with some buddies and you just bullshit.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
I
that's
even
all
like
it
that
is,
part.
man. It doesn't have to be anything more than just some buddies.
You know what I
Siding
think
or
is cool
dissiding.
about it? Like, whenever we used to come here when we were kids, the person that ran this and shit fucking hated us. So it's cool to, like, be able to see ourselves grow up and be fucking civil enough that we can come in-
Presentable to come back and be like, hey. you
Yeah,
remember-
presentable, civil enough, just to be decent enough people that somebody trusts us to come in here by
Yeah.
ourselves to not fuck shit up. Because
Yeah, it's
if
respect.
you looked at us when we were kids, you would never think we would be those people that were going to be able to go anywhere without fucking something up.
Dude, I bet you everybody that's seen us when we were younger would be like, yep, they'll be in jail. As soon as they turn 18, they'll be in jail.
100%.
Oh, yeah,
well,
dude.
they were fucking probably right 80% of the time about some of
They
them.
were completely wrong.
We're the only three left.
This is it. This is all you get.